All right, so this is where it starts to get a little challenging. The clothespin frame is probably one of the more difficult pieces to assemble, but we're going to give it a shot. So now I'm going to go ahead and click in my assembly one. It's important to only have one assembly for that reason, is that basically when you go to do your drawings, if you have more than one, it gets really messy and it's tough. Okay, so here I have my cube. I'm going to go ahead and click on the front right away, so I'm looking directly at the middle. This actually represents the entire assembly, this little dot here. So I'm going to start off with the middle piece. All right, I'm going to try to do this the easiest way that I know how. So I'm going to click on the middle piece. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just simply place it by clicking, and then go ahead and hit the check mark. Now, with the first piece, we are going to fix this piece. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I'm going to choose fix. What that does is it sets an anchor for the entire rest of the actual assembly. Okay, now I have 3 middle pieces, and in your project folder, okay, in your instructions, it actually has a diagram that shows you that there is 3 inches in between each of the ladders. Okay, so we're going to use a fasten mate, but we're going to use an offset fasten mate for these 5 pieces. We're going to put our sides on last. All right, and the reason for that is because when we use our fasten mate, it's actually you're only choosing one spot on the object, but it's really important that when you use that spot, it's the exact spot that you want, and I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so now that I've gotten the front, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit, roll my mouse wheel up. I'm going to go ahead and do another middle piece. Okay, and I'm going to space this out just like so. Okay, so once I do that, I'm going to hit it OK, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to angle. And you're going to see where the mouse instructions or the mouse behaviors are really important. Okay, so here we go. So fasten mate is something that you can just pick a single nodule. I call them Pac-Mans if you want, but it's got little Pac-Mans that show up. They're kind of a nuisance sometimes when you're trying to select a surface, but nonetheless, they're really easy to use. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fasten mate. And as I zoom in, you can see these little Pac-Mans. I know it doesn't look like a Pac-Man, but it is Pac-Man. Okay, so I want the middle top of my fixed piece. Okay, now it's important. I don't want this one. I don't want that one. I want this middle piece. You can see there's a little checkerboard circle right there. Okay, that's called a centroid. It means the center of something. So I'm going to go ahead and click the little Pac-Man. Now I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to roll to make it really easy for you, because I placed this at the top, and I'm going to choose the centroid for that. Now, here's where you have to really look at it. Okay, so I have to make sure that both of my pieces are opposed. If they are not opposed, I'm going to go ahead and click this angle. Perfect. If they are not opposed, watch this. If I go ahead and flip it, it disappears. The reason why it disappears is it's inside this other piece, because we're talking about digital pieces. We're not talking about actual like wooden pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it back, and that's exactly what I want. However, if you remember, I want 3 inches in between each one. So this is the fixed piece. I'm putting on this piece right here. There's 3 inches in between, and that's why I chose the bottom of my piece that I just added and the top of my fixed piece. So in order to do that offset, you can see vaguely this Z, Y, and X. The Z shows you the direction that how should I say this? That label represents. So it's vertical, and that's exactly what I want to address. So I'm going to go ahead and hit offset. I have all of these options. I'm going to go down to Z, and I'm going to put in 3, enter. Okay. Now, I'm actually glad that happened, because what it really did is it took that piece that was on top and put it down below. We don't want that. So in order to reverse it, we just go ahead and we get a -3, and that's what happens. Okay, so here I have the space of 3 inches in between each one. The reason why I don't have to worry about the edges and whatnot is because we are simply going from the middle point, the midpoint that we use, those little Pac-Mans again. That is important. Okay, So once I'm ready for that, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And you'll notice now, this middle piece over here, it does not have like 3 little arrows that it once did. All right. If I try to move, I cannot move it. Okay. So I've pressed escape. If you have this still up, just press the escape key, and it gets rid of your tool. The tool will be up there as many times as you can, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and hit insert. We're going to do another middle piece, but we're going to do down below. Okay. And we're going to do the same exact step. Fasten mate. I want to rotate this around. There it is. Okay. And then I'm going to rotate this. Boom. Okay. Now it looks to be good. I need to put that offset in. That looks like Z is again the same culprit here. Let's try 3 again. Let's see if it works. Nope, doesn't work. Went up. I don't want it to go up. Let's go negative. Okay, now I have 3 inches. All right. So now I'm going to do the same exact thing, but I'm going to use the top and bottom. All right, so I have 3 items in a row. We're going to go ahead and hit insert, top and bottom. Okay, and I typically like to try to place it pretty close to what I'm doing. Okay, check mark. Same process. Fasten mates. Make sure you're getting right in there. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, rotate around a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and offset that again. Z. Let's try -3 this time, right off the bat. Sweetness. All right. Last one. We're going to go ahead and do the fasten mate again. Insert. Top and bottom. Done. Okay, zoom in. Fasten mate. Zoom. Little Pac-Man. Now that one didn't go because you can see mate connectors is still blue, so it wasn't able to select that. So I want to get in there. Now it chose it. Zoom out. Rotate. Zoom in. Okay, they go together, and we've had some luck with -3, so we're going to offset the Z. -3. Yeah. All right. Check mark. All right. So now you have all of your pieces in alignment. So if I go ahead and look over here, you can see that they're in alignment. All of these edges are there. And the reason for that is because the size of the pieces are all the same length here. Okay. We don't necessarily care about the height because we're doing our mates to pretty much to the tops and bottoms, so it really wouldn't matter. If I go to the right here, you see they're all in alignment. Okay, you can see that center point looks really nice, really simple, ready to go. So I'll see you in the next video.